سیکٹر جاتا ہے, شبر صاحب جاتے ہیں, ہر بندہ جاتا ہے, فورڈ روڈز, آل دی اکاؤنٹنگ فرمز سارے پہنچے ہوتے ہیں. لیکن میں جب بھی یہ والے سیمینار کو دیکھتا ہوں تو ہر ایک کے چہرے پہ نا تھوڑا ڈپریشن ہوتا ہے. تو واٹ از آور سو کال chartered accountancy firms or the برادری doing, یا the financial community generally doing? Are you really the influencers? تو میرا پہلا کوشچن آپ لوگوں کو ہے کہ I don't think you are as big an influencer as perhaps you used to be. تو یہ ایک آپ کا سول سرچنگ کا ویو ہے. اب میں آپ کو بتاتا ہوں کون زیادہ افیکٹو ہوئے ہیں. Selected lobbies. Selected lobbies have been more effective than a collective body. تو قصور کہاں ہے؟ ریونیو منسٹر نے یا فائنانس منسٹر یا چیئرمین ایف پی آر نے تو اپنا کام کرنا ہے. تو میرا ویو یہ ہے کہ یار انگیجمنٹ از دا بگیسٹ نیگیٹو. جس طرح آپ آج انگیج کر رہے ہیں یہ انگیجمنٹ بزنس کمیونٹی کو ریزلٹس نہیں دے رہی. انڈیویجولز جو سیلریڈ کلاسز ہیں ان کو ریزلٹس نہیں دے رہی. تو آئی فیل کہ سب سے پہلے آپ ایک سول سرچنگ کریں ایز اے کمیونٹی کہ آپ اگلے سال کیسے بہتر ہو سکتے ہیں. آپ کیسے انگیج کر سکتے ہیں کہ جہاں آپ 10 سیمینارز نہ کریں, جنگ فورم بھی ہو رہا ہے, آئی کیپ فورم بھی ہو رہا ہے, اور افیکٹو کون ہو رہے ہیں؟ دا پیپل ہو ہیو ایکسیس ڈائریکٹلی فرینکلی ٹو ایشوز ایٹ ہینڈ, اسمال لابیز. تو کون افیکٹو ہوا ہے؟ ایپٹما بہت افیکٹو ہوا ہے. ایپٹما نے اپنی چیزوں کے اوپر کافی چیزوں کا حل نکالا ہے. 2-4 جو 5 سیکٹر سے سیلز ٹیکس والے جس کے اوپر ایک ویو تھا ہونا چاہیے تھا, نہیں ہوا. They have been very effective to take care of their sectors. Automobile industry جس کو میں ریپرزینٹ کرتا ہوں, we were not very effective. لیکن اس سال ایک بہت اچھی چیز ہوئی. Whether I agree with the auto policy or not, one of the best things that the auto industry was able to do was get certainty before the budget. ہماری auto policy got announced 1 month before the budget. ورنہ کیا ہوتا تھا, آدھا بجٹ تو ہم ادھر بیٹھ کے دیکھتے تھے کہ یار امپورٹڈ گاڑی پہ کیا ڈیوٹی ہو گئی ہے اور اس گاڑی پہ کیا ڈیوٹی ہو گئی ہے. دیٹ وی نیو 1 month earlier. تو میرا یہ ویو ہے کہ یہ بھی کریڈٹ شاید گورنمنٹ ہی کو جاتا ہے کہ تو یہ 3-4 باڈیز نے میرا ویو ہے بڑا افیکٹولی کام کیا. اب کیا چیزیں ہیں جو بزنس کمیونٹی کو ہیونگ گیون یو دا پازیٹیو دا نیگیٹیوز یا کنسرنز, کیا چیزیں ہیں جو کہ بادر کر رہی ہیں؟ نمبر 1, آف کورس سب سے زیادہ کلیمر کس کا ہوتا ہے؟ سیلری کلاس کا ہوتا ہے, آپ کے پروفیشنلز کا ہوتا ہے جو آپ کے ارد گرد بیٹھے ہوتے ہیں کہ دیکھیں سر دوبارہ ہم پہ ٹیکس لگ رہا ہے ان ون وے اور دی ادر. کسی کی پینشن کے اوپر سڈنلی ہٹ آ رہی ہے تو ایسٹ مینجمنٹ والے تھوڑے سے ناراض ہیں, کہیں انشورنس والے ناراض ہیں کہ جی ہم پہ زیادہ لگ گیا پہلے سے. تو یہ چیزیں ہماری سیلری کلاس کو جا کے لگتی ہیں. تو سب سے پہلے تو وہ لوگ کافی ہرٹ ہیں کہ جی ہمارے ایشوز اتنے پازیٹیولی نہیں ایڈریس ہوئے. نمبر 2, آف کورس دس فیڈرل پروونشل تھنگ از دا بگ ون, رائٹ, کہ اس وقت کسی کو سمجھ نہیں آ رہی کہ اگر آج آپ جا کے پی بی سی کو ملیں, او آئی سی سی آئی کو ملیں, ایکس وائی زیڈ کو ملیں, تو سب سے بڑا ایشو ہے کہ جی جو فیڈرل نے سو کالڈ اپنی طرف سے چھوڑ دیا اس کا نیٹ افیکٹ جو ہے پازیٹیو کے بجائے نیگیٹو ہو گیا, کیونکہ پروونشلز نے کہہ دیا کہ جی اگر آپ یہ کریں گے, ایڈجسٹمنٹ نہیں دیں گے ٹو دا فیڈرل جو آپ نے ودرا کیا, تو پھر کیا ہوا؟ فیڈرل اس پہ کیا کہہ رہی ہے؟ وہ کہہ رہی ہے پروونشلز نے مجھے پچھلے سال دیا ہی نہیں تو میں کیوں دوں ایڈجسٹمنٹ. Business community doesn't know what the federal and provincial issues are. It wants to have clarity. جیسے ایک سال شروع ہوتا ہے, آپ کے پاس اگر کلیئرٹی نہ ہو تو میرا ویو ہے کہ بزنس بجٹس بننا بڑا مشکل ہو جاتا ہے. یہ مہینہ ہے جو کمپنیاں 1 جولائی سے بجٹس ڈال رہی ہیں, میں آپ کو یہ بتا دیتا ہوں बता सकता हूं कि हर बंदा अपना बजट लेके जा रहा है बोर्ड्स के पास विद अ कैविएट कि जी बाय द वे ये एक लाइन हम डाल रहे हैं, प्रॉफिट ये भी हो सकता है और ये भी हो सकता है। आप मुझे बताएं कौन सी ग्लोबल एंटिटी इस चीज को अच्छा समझेगी? कौन से जॉइंट वेंचर पार्टनर्स इस चीज को अच्छा समझेंगे? तो मेरा यह व्यू है कि जो कुछ भी हो बजट में, जो भी यहां फ्रेंड्स हैं हु हैव एक्सेस टू चेयरमैन एंड द फेडरल मिनिस्टर्स, एंड मेरा अपना जाती व्यू है कि दिस टीम हैज नॉट डन दैट बैडली, बट मेरा व्यू है कि एंगेजमेंट ठीक नहीं हो रही, मैसेजिंग ठीक नहीं हो रही। 5-6 चीजें होती हैं आफ्टर अनाउंसिंग द बजट। हाउ पेनफुल इज दैट? Why can't we do these things beforehand? और हम अनसर्टेनिटी क्रिएट करते हैं 30th तक जाके, जब तक बजट्स पूरे हो चुके होते हैं। तो मैं इधर तक ही रहूंगा कि there are some positives, there are some negatives, but one wants to be fair. तो इंट्रिकेसीज में आप देखें, लेकिन अगर मैं मैसेज सबको यहां छोड़ के जाऊं, हाँ सैलरीड बंदे को देखना चाहिए, और नंबर 2 ये फेडरल प्रोविंशियल इशू, नकवी साहब एंड अदर्स हु आर क्लोज, this has to be resolved. And I think with the right kind of tone, right moment, जहां नाराजगी ना पैदा की जाए, ये तो आप लोगों को करवाना चाहिए। अगर ये हो जाता है तो मेरा व्यू है the budget will be deemed as positive by the business community.
Thank you, Saqib Sahab. Just a few comments on your observation that we were not effective. We agree that we are not very effective at present. But when we had discussions with Mr. Harun Akhtar, he was very positive. And he was with us yesterday in a similar seminar in Islamabad. He made 2-3 very important declarations. Number 1 was, and I can share these with you, that parliamentarians does not have the capacity to understand budget and its implications. And of course, he also said that we've prepared this budget with a lot of restrictions on us. We cannot go beyond certain limits. So this is a message that he has conveyed to us of the vested interest when this budget processing is being done. So now we request Mr. Shabar Zaidi actually to give his views on, general views on the budget.
Just to add on what Saqib has said, let me first slightly distinguish between the role of the ICAP and the business groups. The ICAP or the professional bodies, we slightly act in a different manner, and we want to continue to act in a different manner. We don't have any particular objective to reduce or increase duties or to promote any particular industry. The objective of the ICAP policy in the budget is quite clear, and that is the documentation of the economy, corporatization of the businesses, and provide non-discriminative level playing field to the businesses. These are the 3 fundamental principles on which the ICAP works. And we don't want to act as a pressure group. This is our position, and we don't want to act as a pressure group, and we will never like to be a pressure group to resolve the issues particular to any industry. But at the same time, we would like to promote those things where the overall economy is benefited by our role. What I would say, and we have been saying for a very long time, that we represent the documented sector of the economy. And the institute and the accountants sitting here are all the people who relate and want to do in a documented sector of economy. And unless and until we promote documentation and corporatization and non-discrimination, we will not be able to achieve the desired result of the sustainable economic growth. And as I said, I was talking to Adnan, this budget I will call a cash management budget rather than economic management budget. You are managing the cash resources of Pakistan, as rightly said by Shakir. You have managed 300 billion rupees. Fair enough, it's a very good achievement, a very good target. But I would have liked to receive 2,900 million from right sources rather than 300 billion from the wrong sources and in a wrong manner. That is the fundamental policy point from the ICAP point of view, and our efforts have been very slow, I would say, but our efforts are consistent. What the ICAP has been saying, they continue to say, this government may come in, this government may go, people may go and people may come. But our position as a body, as a professional body, we will not like to change our position on any point we have raised in the past. The second point, coming to this particular budget, and as I said earlier, this is the fourth budget of this government, and now only one budget is left, and I am just restricting myself to the taxation system of the country. Let me be very candid on this, that the consistent policy of promoting and encouraging non-documentation has been continued. I would say, and I think it is very unfortunate that we as a nation have accepted the concept that there can be two rates for filer and non-filer. It means we are by nature accepting that a crime or wrong thing is there and we cannot touch upon them. We had a discussion with Harun Sahib and said that we have created such a difference between the people, filer and non-filer, that people will come to this tax net because the rate incidence is too high. But over the time we have seen, for example, in the case of cash collection and withdrawal, that people are not ready to come in the tax system despite a very high incidence of tax in difference. But let me give only one example, that in the case of dividends, if you are saying that the non-filer will be taxed at a different rate and filer will be different rate, I still wonder how a dividend non-filer cannot be identified. It is a documented sector. You know who is the shareholder. You know what is the address, who is receiving the dividend. If you cannot identify a non-filer in the case of dividend, then there is no sense of saying something like this. I will come on the later question when the question answer will come in, but I would like to clarify one point which was raised by Adnan, and it is a positive sign that when you say that the FED which was duplicate has been removed from 2011, from the strict wording or whatever it is right, it has been removed this year, but my interpretation, and I am optimistic and positive interpretation, is that the amendment says that any federal excise duty where the sale tax has been paid, it means it is retrospective. So it is not prospective, it is retrospective. Since any date where there are duplication of taxes, then it means that there will be no duplication of taxes. So this is my positive interpretation on what you have said. Coming back to the last point which I want to highlight, and Sakib Sahib, to you also, after a very long debate, after a very long struggle, we have incorporated a concept of holding companies and the promotion of the business houses. And almost all the major business houses now, of the major business houses of the country, have created the holding companies, which is a pretty essential requisite for a long-term investment by the cognized sector. I still wonder whether people who have changed this amendment have actually understood this amendment. In my view, the problem in FBR is neither corruption nor competence, now it is education. I think they don't understand the many intricacies of the way the world is going, the way the things are moving. This holding company structure, this intercorporate dividend exemption was not a result of one day, somebody's wish, somebody's representation. It was a result of a very comprehensive report made by a task force, which was represented by FBR, It was represented by State Bank of Pakistan, it was represented by Pakistan Business Council, it was represented by and all other four relevant forum, and the task force made a report what should be done in the corporate law, in the taxation law for the promotion of holding company. And then I hear from some very, I would say, educated, including some chartered accountant who don't have a clue what we are saying. And then they talk about it, and they talk, I would say, nonsense about it, and they recommend things which are now being done. It is I would say it's a criminal act to, at this point of time, to tax inter-corporate dividend. We were going, Saqib Sahab, to extend that we were recommending that the dividend tax on FHO should be abolished, because corporate sector at the moment is paying 31% tax, plus 4% super tax, plus 12.5% dividend tax. So who in this country will do business on a corporate sector if you have a possibility of doing business on the non-corporate sector? So the basic philosophy of the government is, at the moment, is only cash management. 20% increase, 30% increase, tax collection from this source, but this is not a sustainable position for any economy. This is a killer for the economy. The way, for example, let us take the case of a tax on builder and developers, which has just been, Saqib has been very nice to the government, and he has not actually unleashed the underlying concept of it is a whitening scheme for the builder and developers. That you want to unleash the untaxed money which is lying there. Now you are saying you have a transaction value of 50 crore rupees, 1 billion rupees, 2 billion rupees, and you pay a fixed tax of money. You will have a seller, the seller will have a white in the money, whatever he pays. I may disagree or agree on the system, but what I am trying to understand, as rightly said by Saqib, the pressure group of Abad has prevailed on the government, and pressure group of textile has prevailed on the government for 5 export sector. This 2004 amendment which was made in the 5 export sector, this was done in 2004. And we know what was the reason why it was withdrawn. So the question here is that unfortunately the governments, including the government, are running the economic policy for their tenure only. How they can live in their tenure in a better way. They are not thinking ahead of their tenure. And so, in short, my view is that there should be more, and as Rashid has rightly said, Mr. Harun Akhtar yesterday said, and I don't like his comment because it is very unfortunate. He said that there is no contribution by the parliament in the preparation of the budget, and he said the quality of the debate which is going on in the parliament is not up to the standard. And I may agree or disagree with his comment, but on one side, when parliament is not able to comment properly on the budget, business sectors have their pressure groups which can pressurize the government on a particular sector, and then the government and the FBR is focused on tax collection, then it will be very difficult to have a sustainable policy for the government for tax collection. And lastly, I would say that we are saying that we have a GDP of $280 or $290 million, and the growth rate is 4.71% or 3. Whatever the people are saying. But the question is, from where we are taking the figure of GDP, from where we are taking the figure of growth, because we have not done our census for last 20 years. I still wonder from where this GDP figure is being taken. For how the Federal Bureau of Statistics is coming out the figure of GDP of $280 billion. I still wonder about it. I still feel there cannot be a proper GDP of any country developed unless we have a census. So I am not criticizing the government in this sense, but from this forum I am trying to say to the government. But unfortunately, one thing I was saying to Rashid, that After this budget, the president of the institute or the chairman of the executive committee should have come up openly in the press and that this budget is not promoting documentation and not promoting documentation, and this message should be very loud and clear. अब मेरा ख्याल है सच बोलने का टाइम आ गया है. अब डिप्लोमेसी को एक हाथ पे साइड पे रखने का मौका है. अदरवाइज वी विल नॉट डू एनी सर्विस टू द नेशन. थैंक यू.
Thank you.